All right, so what's going on, everybody? Greetings to everyone out there. Shout out to everybody that's practicing Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. Uh, Peace and power and elevation be to all of you. This your girl Tiffany coming through here live in the faith. We gotta have a conversation when it comes to education and the schools as far as conditioning is concerned, maintenance issues, and all of that. All right. So if you guys may not know, or some of you may have heard, there has been a protest at Druid Hill High School. Now, for those of you that's on my channel that's not in the Georgia area or not familiar, Druid Hill High School is located in Dekalb County, which is on the east side of Atlanta. All right. So it's on the east side of Atlanta, it's in the DeKalb County area. Okay. So Druid Hill High School, the students, teachers, faculty, and parents been protesting about the poor conditioning that's taking place and maintenance issues. All right. But see, this is a case of classism. And I'm going to go into the concept about classism in a moment. But yeah, they've been protesting about the poor conditioning that's taking place. So due to the negligence of the DeKalb County Board of Education, not putting the proper funding into getting the school's maintenance going. But see, that's not the part that gets me. See, the part that gets me is about the superintendents and how many superintendents they done went through. They done went through firing a bunch of superintendents within not even the past 9 years or the past 10 years. They done went through firing all these superintendents. That's the part that gets me the most. So yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play a clip, right? Well, play two clips. All right, so one's going to be about the protest, and then the other one's going to be about the NAACP being involved in giving direct criticism to the DeKalb County Board of Education about the superintendents and the poor condition of the school. All right, so this one is about the DeKalb School Board vote against major renovation to Druid Hill High School. Let me play the video.
Conditions at a DeKalb County high school. Tonight, the school board voting against drastic renovations at Druid Hills High School, dispiriting demands from students and parents. And this comes after students released a video exposing an apparent sewage leak and mold issues on campus. CBS 46's Patrick Quinn joins us live. So, Patrick, why the change? And then what does this mean for the high school?
Well, it means some of the issues that students had called out, they will be addressed and there will be some changes, but not all of them. One board member who was against this vote, he told me it is a sad day for DeKalb County, that some of the most critical issues at Druid Hills High School will now not be addressed. Instead, the board voted to spread some of the money out that was earmarked for Druid Hills across the district. Students rallied outside school district headquarters. A rally to renovate Druid Hills High School. Cries that could be heard from inside the board meeting. Students and parents upset that Druid Hills was left off a list for major modernization and renovations after a group of students posted this video last week highlighting the conditions.
What has that experience been?
Mold, water damage, disgusting, gross smells, raw sewage. It's gross and it's unacceptable.
The school board was voting to move forward with a modernization plan, but in an 11th hour amendment, rather than focus on Druid Hills' needs, as initially suggested by an outside consultant, by a 5-3 decision, the board voted to split up renovation efforts to schools across the district.
What Druid Hills is going through, yep, it is bad. But there are other schools that are going through the same thing.
Multiple board members erupted. To other board members, sudden change.
Because this was all made up at the last minute.
Including Marshall Olson, who said while Druid Hills' surface level needs will be met in this modernization measure, Substantive needs will be overlooked.
It's really sad that we are willing to expose this group of kids to conditions which I think would be unacceptable anywhere else.
And I asked Board Member Orson how students and parents who are rallying outside the building here today, how they should take this vote. He told me that maybe the takeaway message for them is life is unfair sometimes, but you must persevere. Now, when will these renovations happen? Who's covering the costs? Which schools are prioritized? I'm told a lot of that is still not known, but the board is expected to meet to hash out some of these details in the coming days. Live in Dekalb County, Patrick Quinn, VS 46 News. Boom!
Hold on. I want to play that part again. I would like to play that part again. Life is not fair, right? This is how they feel. Let's play a video again. Let's play that last little clip again. Cause see, this is the part that this right here, this got me.
Our amendment, rather than focus on Druid Hill's needs, as initially suggested by an outside consultant, by a 5-3 decision, the board voted to split up renovation efforts to schools across the district.
What Druid Hills is going through, yep, it is bad. But there are other schools that are going through the same thing.
Multiple board members erupted. To other board members, sudden change.
Because this was all made up at the last minute.
Including Marshall Olson, who said while Druid Hill's surface level needs will be met in this modernization measure, substantive needs will be overlooked.
It's really sad that we are willing to expose this group of kids to conditions which I think would be unacceptable anywhere else.
And I asked Board Member Orson how students and parents who are rallying outside the building here today, how they should take this vote. He told me that maybe the takeaway message for them is life is unfair sometimes, but you must persevere. Now, when will these renovations happen? Who's covering the costs? Which schools are prioritized? I'm told a lot of that is still not known, but the board is expected to meet to hash out some of these details in the coming days. Live in DeKalb County, Patrick Quinn, CBS 46 News.
They are told that life is not fair. And which school is going to get the funding? Let me show you. That's a case of classism, okay? That's a case of classism. Why do I speak on classism? Because when we look at classism, right, we dealing with upper class, middle class, and lower class. So Druid Hill High School is like somewhere in the middle class range, but like lower middle class kind of. It's like a lower middle class, but in the inner city area. All right. So that would be more likely a predominantly black high school, because you got a lot of black kids that go to Druid Hill High School and other mixed race of people, other groups, whatnot. The areas where it's mostly suburban, they're going to receive a lot more funding than the areas that are not as suburban. All right. So in this case, you will see that the inner city schools do not receive as much help, and students are forced to go and be under those type of conditions, learn under those conditions. So it takes a long time before they ever receive funding. Whereas you got schools that's in the upper class community or the upper middle class, they receive a lot more funding. They will receive a lot more help. They receive a lot more help. So this is one of the reasons why parents choose to homeschool their children. They would rather homeschool their own kids, because It's already bad enough. You're not really learning a lot in these public school system. They're giving you a lot of repetition. And then on top of that, you forced to learn in a poor condition environment. Does that sound familiar to us? This sounds familiar to me. This is what our ancestors had to deal with. Going to school in a poor condition environment where molds, lead poisoning, you name it, all of that stuff. And you expect the students to learn productively. How? How do you learn productively in an environment where there is maintenance issues everywhere? Pipe holes busted. Mold everywhere. Lead. Holes in the wall. Worn out textbooks. Teachers getting underpaid. You cutting back programs. Anyways, you cutting back programs that are designed for the students that will help the students extracurricular activity wise. But you expect for the students to learn in a productive environment. Then you want to know why kids drop out of school. Why kids don't want to go to school. Why should they go to school when they can't learn anything in a poor condition environment? Why? What's the purpose? If the Board of Education don't care enough, and you just heard a lady on here just said that, yeah, we feel bad about Druid Hill High School, but there's other schools out there that needs funding too. Well, why can't they all get equal share of funding? How much money is available? Why can't they all get equal share of funding? Why is there have to be a competition? Why is that one school can receive some type of funding over here, but this school can't get no funding? What is going on? What you're looking at is the negligence. I will repeat, negligence of the Dekalb County Board of Education. But I'm about to go ahead and play the second video. Oh, because this is the part that gets interesting. They were placed under scrutiny by NAACP. Check this out.
Do you want to boost your resume with a film?
Hold on. Because this is the part that really gets me. This explains a lot of things here.
Dekalb County has gone through 10 superintendents over the last 25 years.
And by comparison, with that count.
Oh, wait a minute. They done went through 10 superintendents over the past 25 years. 10 superintendents over the past 25 years. Let's say that again.
Dekalb County has gone through 10 superintendents over the last 25 years.
And by comparison, with that county, the state's largest school district had one superintendent during that same time.
CBS 46's Haley Mason continues our team coverage tonight with what some say is at the root of the district's problems, Haley.
That comparison was drawn by the Dekalb County NAACP president, Sean. He's saying that he has some harsh words for the school district, saying that this revolving door of superintendents is not only hurting the students, he says it's hurting the entire county. Dekalb County School Board is under scrutiny for abruptly firing its superintendent yesterday and swearing in a new one today.
The school district needs to take accountability. Cheryl Watson Harris is not responsible for the turmoil at Druid Hills High School.
The president of the Dekalb County branch of the NAACP wrote this letter blasting the 7-person school board for the hasty decision.
And our problem with this board is that We've got to stop the revolving door of superintendents.
Lance Hammond says the board has gone through 10 superintendents in the last 25 years, including Johnny Brown, who resigned abruptly and embattled Crawford Lewis, Cheryl Atkinson, Michael Thurman. Ramona Tyson served as interim twice. Stephen Green, who left in 2019, and Rudy Crew, who sued the district last year for $750,000, claiming discrimination after being the only finalist but then not getting the job, as the district decided in a surprise move to bring on Watson Harris instead. Now Watson Harris fired Tuesday and Tinsley sworn in today.
It also shows the ineptness of our school board. If you made a decision to hire this lady, Superintendent Cheryl Watson Harris, and then 2 years later, did you make a mistake 2 years ago?
Today at the State of Dekalb County event, CEO Michael Thurman had fiery comments about the board, as they said in the audience.
It ain't about the school board. It ain't about the school board chair. It's about almost 100,000 children.
Thurman is a former Dekalb superintendent brought on to stabilize the district as it was about to lose its accreditation.
And I was so angry. We almost lost the Dekalb County School District because of what grown folk were doing on the school board. No.
Hammond says these quick decisions hurt academics overall.
Now, I would charge them to hire this superintendent back or do a better job hiring superintendents in the future.
Now, the school board has not responded directly to the comments from the NAACP as we requested them to do, but in a statement they did make, they pretty much stood by their decision, saying it was time for a change. Reporting live outside the Dekalb County School Board offices, Haley Mason, CBS 46.
It's time for a change. But you know, went through 10